The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
So there's a story that there were Russian soldiers, and they were told right before Pesach that they're embarking on a long trip through the forests. They're going to be marching for like the next 8 days, and it would be on Pesach. So these Russian soldiers panicked, the Yiddish soldiers. They thought they're going to go through a Yiddish yeshiv to be able to stop and get good Yidden would invite them. So they sent a shliach to the Tzemach Tzedek, the third Lubavitcher Rebbe, right, the Einikel of Balatanya. And he said to them, go tell your commander that it's not a good route to go straight through the forest because you'll be sleeping in the wilderness and the soldiers will be exposed. It's much better if you take another route, and he gave them a route on the map. You go through cities, and this way you can spend the nights in cities. I said, our commander doesn't like taking advice, especially when you tell him your idea is not so good. He said, do it with seichel. So they came to him and he said, Jews, what do you want? He said that we understand that the commander had an idea that perhaps there's a better route. So, make it sound like it's his suggestion. And we go through Shklov, and we go through, afterwards we go through Slusk and Moalav, one of the name of the cities. And the commander said, you're right. It's a good thing I thought of that. This way the soldiers don't have to sleep in the woods. And you can restock yourself. When they restock themselves, I don't want to say what that means. So then Tzemach Tzedek sent to them like this. He said, as you're traveling, the first night of Pesach, you're going to be in, where did I say they're going to be? They're going to be in, before Slusk, what did I say? They're going to be in Shklov, right. You're going to be in Shklov. He said, someone's going to invite you to the Seder, and he's also going to invite you to sleep there. Don't sleep there. Sleep in the big shul. He said, the 7th day of Pesach, you're going to be in Moalav, and there, again, someone's going to invite you. Don't sleep there. Sleep in the Hegdish. Hegdish was the communal place to sleep. Okay? Sure enough, the first night of Seder, they wind up in Slusk, and wonder of wonders, the captain gave them a day off, or 2 days off, and they come and they have a beautiful Seder there, and afterwards he says, please, lay down and sleep over here. They said, no, we're going to sleep in the shul. Why would you want to do that? They said, no, we want to sleep in the shul. And they came to the shul. They weren't the only ones sleeping in the shul, and they had to find a corner where they could lay down. And the soldiers are laying down. They hear a guy sitting there, and he is krachzing, is going, ay. And they're saying, can we help you? No, just go to sleep. Ay. I'm not going to explain this to you, but it's kind of hard to go to sleep when you're... He said, you can't help me. But you can help us by being quiet. Yeah. Come on, talk to us, please. Let's live. We don't have an ear. I figured maybe it's a... So he said, his first wife passed away. He remarried a younger woman, and he thought that it would be such a great marriage, even though he was 40 years older than her. And it was very clear she married him for the money, and the marriage was going south. And then a roving band came through, and she roved out with the band. She became a roving wife, and not only that, his money became roving money because she emptied him out, and he's lost. So he was a wealthy person, and he did this narishkat, he married such a young woman, and obviously that was not sincere in the marriage, and now he's left with nothing. She totally wiped him out. So they said, listen, describe your wife to us, what she looks like, and what this band looks like. And you never know. How could you guys help me? You're a bunch of soldiers. You never know. So Fischel Pesach, they're in Moalav. And again, the man says to them, how are you? And the man says to them, okay, you'll spend the night here, right? They said, no, we're going to sleep in the Hegdish. The Hegdish, at least sleep in the shul. No, maybe it's a shiloh sleeping in the shul. And they come to the Hegdish, the communal place. It's not a great place to sleep. People are fighting over beds, fighting over mattresses, fighting over pillows, fighting to be under a place that doesn't leak on them, and they're just laying in the corner. And in walks, in the middle of the night, these bunch of chevra walk in, and they're putting down their instruments. It's supposed to be Yidden. They weren't so careful with Hilchas Muktzah, I don't know. And they're schmoozing, and there's a woman amongst them. And they go over, they ask a few questions, and they chap, this is this person and his wife. So immediately in the morning, they run over to the Rav, and they say, listen, this is Leisamet Eldam Reyacha, and the Rav sent his shluchim, and he had very big shluchim, big shluchim. And they convinced him that he should come to Bezin. And the Rav retained them till after Yom Tov and the person. So, right, the Tzemach Tzedek said, you're going to sleep in these shuls. So we had a Tzemach Tzedek today, they'll tell me where to go, where to sleep, Things in life will straighten themselves out. No. The point of the Seder is for us to believe that the Eibishter is also a Baal Meifus, okay? Because Baruch Hu is also a Baal Meifus. and where you're going to sleep this Seder night and where you're going to be this Seder night is also going to be along the same lines. The Rebbeinu Shalom has a chesh. We may not see it so clearly, but there's also a Seder to it.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org